Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss steps of successful rice production. First step of successful rice production is use a crop calendar. A crop calendar helps to improve the schedule of operation and also reduces the cost of cultivation of rice. But farmers don't know how to create a crop calendar. So to create a crop calendar, first determine the best date to plant or to sow. Then determine the time the variety takes from planting to harvest. Later on, mark on the calendar the date of planting and when each operation needs to be done, like plowing, weeding, fertilizing and harvesting. Pin the calendar in prominent place to remind you when things needs to be done. Second step, choose the best variety. Select variety that suits your growing conditions. Variety should be selected based on good yield potential, resistance to disease, good eating qualities, high milling yield and are suitable for the market. When selecting a variety, check the following conditions. First, crop duration. So there are three kind of varieties found in the market. First one is the long duration variety, which takes 160 or more days to mature. These varieties are suitable for irrigated and flood prone areas. Second, medium duration varieties, which takes 120 to 140 days to mature and they are suitable for both rain-fed and irrigated areas. Third point, short duration variety. These varieties takes about 120 or less than that days to mature. These varieties are suitable for drought prone area or for a double crop. Second condition, crop height. There are three kinds of varieties found in the market. So tall varieties are 1.4 meter and maybe taller than that and are suitable for flood prone areas or unlevel land. Lodging may be the problem. Medium height varieties are 1 to 1.2 meter in height and are suitable for most areas and are not as susceptible to lodging. Short duration varieties are best suited to level beds, especially in irrigated areas. They are responsive to fertilizer and are normally less than 1 meter in height. Third point you need to consider while selecting variety is grain quality. A premium is often paid for aromatic variety, but yields of aromatic variety usually low. Second, eating quality such as softness, stickiness and color after cooking are important. Step number 3, use best quality seed. High quality seed reduces the required seeding rate and produces strong healthy seedlings, resulting in more uniform crop with higher yields. Good seeds are clean with no stones, soils or weed seeds, pure containing grains of one variety and healthy having full big grains of the same color with no cracks or spotting. High quality seed can be brought as certified seed or produced by the farmer. To produce high quality seed, select a level field with well maintained bunds and easy access. Use clean, pure and healthy seed. Do a float test on the seed before planting and remove any seeds that floats on the water. Use good management practices by planting on time, applying fertilizer, weeding before 20 days after establishment and not letting weeds go to the seed. Row the fields by removing all rice plants that clearly look different during the vegetative, flowering and grain filling stage. Harvest at full maturity when 80 to 85% of the grains are straw colored or at 21 to 22% moisture. Thresh and dry quickly after the harvest. Store the seeds safely and label containers or bags with variety name and date of the harvest. Step 4 is prepare and label the fields. A well prepared and labeled field gives a uniform healthy crop that can compete with weeds, use less water and give higher yields at lower cost. A well prepared field has many soil clods to give good seed soil contact. Clod size and seed size are similar. There is no weeds in the well prepared fields. Level and smooth surface after working and well constructed bunds. To prepare the fields when possible, plow immediately after the harvest, especially if the soil is still moist. Primary plowing is carried out by disc or mouthboard plow to kill weeds and incorporate the crop residue, preferably 6 to 8 weeks before planting with maximum depth of 10 cm. Second plowing should be carried out with the help of disc or tine harrow at least twice to make small clod size. Second plowing should be 2 to 3 weeks before planting and the last harrowing should be carried out 1 week before planting with maximum depth of 5 to 7.5 cm. Repair the bunds, destroy rat burrows, repair any holes and cracks and recompact the bunds. Bunds should be at least 0.5 meter in height and 1 meter wide. Level the field will give better water coverage, better crop establishment and better weed control. Soil puddling should be done at least 1 to 2 days before seeding to allow the water to clear when direct seeding is carried out for sowing. Step number 5, plant on time. Planting the crop on time will help produce a fast growing uniform crop that will give higher yields and will be better able to compete with weeds and pests. The time to plant depends on the locality, variety, water availability and the best harvest time. Rice can either be transplanted from a nursery or direct seeded in the field. Transplanted crops will normally take less time in the production field but 10 to 15 days longer for the total crop production. In both cases, well prepared seedbed is needed. For transplanted crops, select a nursery site that is 1/10 in size of the intended planting area. Prepare the nursery by plowing at least twice and harrow at least once. Level the soil surface and put in drainage lines across the field. Soak the seeds for 24 hours and then drain for 24 hours in the shade. Broadcast seed in the nursery evenly over the water covered soil surface. Use 30 to 40 kg per hectare seed in transplanted area. Apply both chemical and organic fertilizer in the field before last plowing. Short to medium duration variety needs 20 to 30 days and long duration variety needs 20 to 40 days in nursery after seeding. Transplant in lines into puddled and water covered fields and maintain the water coverage in the field. For direct seeding, prepare the field by plowing at twice and harrowing once. Compare the seed and flower size. Level the soil surface. Apply and incorporate basal fertilizer before the last plowing or at 10 days after establishment. There are two techniques of direct: wet direct seeding and dry direct seeding. In wet direct seeding, pre-germination of seed is carried out. That means soak the seeds for 24 hours and then drain for 24 hours in the shade before broadcasting evenly over the water covered soil surface. Broadcast pre-germinated seed at 100 kg per hectare rate. Allow surface water to drain or percolate naturally into the soil. Keep the soil surface moist by adding water. Add permanent water at 10 to 15 days after establishment or at 2 to 3 leaf stage. Apply basal fertilizer after permanent water is added. In dry direct seeding, hand broadcast dry seed at 100 kg per hectare or machine drill seed at 80 kg per hectare at 2 cm depth. Apply basal fertilizer through the seed drill. Cover the broadcast seed and fertilizer with light harrowing. Flash flood until 15 days after emergence or 2 leaf stage and then add permanent water. Step number 6 is weed early. Weed compete directly with rice plants and reduce rice yield. Each 1 kg dry matter of weed is equivalent to 1 kg grain loss. Weed causes most yield loss within the first 20 to 50 days after crop establishment. Weeding after panicle initiation may also be important to prevent weed shedding seeds in future crop. For effective weed management, plowing and harrowing in fallow should be undertaken at least 10 to 14 days apart. Good land leveling reduces weed growth because most weeds have trouble germinating under water. Select varieties which have early vigor. Use clean rice seed which is free from weed seeds. Apply permanent water early. Weeds cannot germinate underwater. First weeding begins within 2 to 3 weeks after establishment and second in another 2 to weeks after first weeding. Weeds should be removed before fertilizer application. Identify the weed correctly and use appropriate herbicides as recommended on the label. Spray when the weeds are small. Apply pre-emergence herbicides after planting or prior to establishment of the crop. Apply post-emergence herbicides after emergence but being careful of the crop damage. Remember, herbicides are poisonous. If they are not used properly, they can cause health and environment problems. Label them clearly and keep them out of children's reach. Always use protective clothing when spraying. Step number 6. Fertilize the crop. Most soils provide only limited amount of nutrients to the crop. Therefore, fertilizers needs to be applied to increase grain yield. In some cases, fertilizers are also added to improve the soil physical condition. For efficient fertilizer use organic fertilizers like manure, compost, straw, husk, plant leaves whenever possible, especially in nursery. Apply fertilizers according to soil type and expected yield. Apply all P and K and 10% of nitrogen evenly and incorporate just before seeding or transplanting. For direct seeded broadcast crops, it is okay to apply 10 to 14 days after establishment when there is a water in the field. Apply remaining nitrogen in 2 equal proportions at 30 days and 50 to 60 days after emergence. In established crops, apply chemical fertilizer only in standing water and evenly across the whole field. Do not apply high rates of fertilizer for traditional varieties as they may have limited response and cause lodging. Do not use chemical fertilizer if you need more than 5 kg paddy to pay for 1 kg of fertilizer. Inorganic fertilizers must be stored in a dry and cool place that is out of children's reach. Step number 8. Use water efficiently. Crop cannot grow without good quality water. Water availability largely determines the potential crop yield. For a crop to continue to grow, the water supply needs to be similar or a little above evaporation. In an efficient system, each 1 kg of grain produced will require a minimum of 2000 liters or 2 meter cube of water. Good water control increases crop yields and grain quality as well as improving the efficiency of the other inputs such as fertilizers, herbicides and pesticides. To maximize water use efficiency, maintain the burns, level the fields, puddle the fields where possible, use direct seeding technique, short duration crops and harvest on time. Step number 9 is control pests and diseases effectively. Farmers lose an estimated average of 37% of their rice crop to pests and diseases every year. In addition to good crop management, timely and accurate diagnosis can significantly reduce losses. The best control for pest and disease problem is prevention. To limit pest and disease incidence in rice crop, practice good cleaning of equipment. Clean the field between seasons by managing stubbles and ratoons and by maintaining and repairing burns. Use clean seeds and resistant variety. Certified seed is recommended. Use short duration variety and resistant cultivar to decrease insect pest population. Plant at the time as your neighbor or within a 2-week window to minimize insect, disease, bird and rat pressure on individual field. Do not over apply fertilizer. Encourage natural pest enemies and do not apply pesticide within 40 days of planting. Step number 10. Harvest on time. Harvesting the crop on time is very important to maximize yields and grain quality. Crop harvested too early will have many unfilled and immature grains. Immature grains break easily when milled and will not germinate when used for seed. If crops are harvested late, heavy losses will occur through shattering and bird attack. Quality will also decrease due to grain weathering, resulting in breakage and downgrading due to undesirable grain color. Crops should be harvested when grain moisture is between 20 to 22%, which is normally about 30 days after flowering. 80 to 85% of the grains are straw color. Grains in the lower part of the panicle are hard and grains are firm but not easily broken when squeezed under the teeth. After cutting, maximize the grain quality by ensuring the panicles do not touch the ground or lay in water. The cut panicles remain in large bundles in the field, thresh within 24 hours of the cutting. Drying the grains as soon as possible after threshing. Turning or stirring the grains at least once every hour when sun drying to achieve uniform drying. Sun drying or tarpaulins or clean drying pads. Keeping the thickness of the grain layer at 3 to 5 cm. Cover the grain on hot days during midday to prevent overheating and covering immediately if it starts raining. Cleaning the grain by prepared winnowing after drying and store the rice in cool, dry and clean area, preferably in seed containers for seed. Step 11. Store safely. Rice is the best stored as a paddy because the husk provides some protection against insects and helps prevent grain quality deterioration. A safe storage system will prevent the grain from wetting after drying and also give protection from insects, rodents and birds. Rice can be stored for longer periods if moisture content is maintained at less than 14% for grain and 12% for seed. Grain is protected from insects, rodents and birds, and grain is also protected from re-wetting by rain or from the surrounding air. A thumb rule for seed is that the life of the seed will be half for every 1% increase in moisture content or a 5 degrees Celsius increase in storage temperature above recommended level. So there are 3 rice storage systems. First one is bag storage system. So bags should not be staked higher than 4 meters. Bags should be staked under a roof in a shade or under a waterproof tarpaulin. A 1 meter gap should be left between and around the stacks. Bags should be stacked on pallets or above ground. Bags should be stacked so that fumigation can be undertaken if necessary. Second storage system is bulk storage. So in bulk storage, grains can be stored in bulk in containers made from wood, metal or concrete and they located under or inside the house. While these storage containers vary in size, they all need to be protected from insect, rodent and birds attacks as well as moisture uptake. Third storage system for rice is hermetic or sealed storage. Sealed or hermetic storage systems are effective means of controlling grain moisture content and insect activity for seed or grain stored in tropical regions. Seed storage containers come in all shapes and sizes ranging from 50 kg super bags, small 25-liter plastic container and 200-liter oil drums to costly sealed large plastic commercial storage units up to 1 to 300 tons. Step number 12, mill efficiently. Poor grain quality into the mill means poor quality rice out. Milling rice paddy removes the husk and bran layer to produce a white rice. Rice is best milled at 13 to 14% moisture content. Best results are attained when the process is completed in a number of stages. Grain temperatures should not exceed 45 degrees Celsius during the process. An efficient mill removes about 20% husk, 8 to 10% bran and 70% white rice. Rice grown in irrigated system should contain 60% white rice and rain-fed system 40 to 50% white rice. Rice is milled in several ways. The process involves in rice milling is pre-cleaning the paddy prior to milling, removing the husk or outer layer from the paddy, polishing the brown rice to remove the bran layer and separating the broken grains from the whole kernel. Bagging should be carried out after milling of the rice